All right, so if you ever wanted to do this on your own, this is the video for you. I was asked recently about a breakdown of my process, and at first I was a little bit hesitant, but I'm like, okay, yeah, no, let's give the people what they asked for. So I am starting on the state of Oklahoma, so you will be walking with me through that process. Let's go. So the first thing that I want to say is that you'll need to get an image. You can draw it for like it could be a sketch of your own, but it really does save a lot of time if you use a stencil of something. I am using the state of Oklahoma. I got it off of a bigger image, so boom, I'm right here, and I'm going to start manipulating it. I set it to the appropriate size, for my canvas. And then, hey, I'm actually going to set my paintbrush. I like to use a paintbrush size of 10 pixels in order to do my outlines. So that's what you're going to see happen next. Not the process, but the after effect. Let's go. All right, so I have that outline in place. I am working on several different layers at one time, so just be aware of that as you're working as well. The next thing that I like to do is create duplicates, so like a black and white version of this. And so this helps me to always be able to select the outer edges of whatever I am working on with another tool. So if I want to blow away any of like the excess around the edges, like I can come to this particular layer, select everything that's in it and keep going, because once I put other elements into place, I won't be able to do that as easily, like select all of the area as easily. So like I said, I just kind of like to make a black one and then a white one. So the next part that I am going to do is actually put in my lines in the middle. So sectioning everything off. And so I'll come back after that, but that's the next part. And I usually use the same size, as you can see, 10 pixels up at the top, same paintbrush size, for those bigger lines in the inside as well. I'll be back when this is done. All right, so this is the outline that I ended up doing. I do these at random. I try to be aware of my borders, like at the top, because that's usually where I want to put like a white highlight. So I try to make sure that my triangles are there and are in a good place, if that makes sense, because I'm trying to think ahead about how the design is going to look at the end. So that's my next thing. And then now my next step is just choosing a color palette. I've been using state flags for the color palettes. So we're on Oklahoma, like I said. I've already extracted the colors like out of this, and I do zoom in. I try to pick, I look for color variations because red, white, and blue, honestly, it gets pretty old doing. I know I just did that on Ohio, but it gets challenging after a certain point, like doing that color combination. So yeah, I got my color palette, and then I just design it however I want to, or I start doing the smaller lines. I'm gonna go ahead and pop in the smaller lines first. I use 1 pixel lines in order to do this. I'll be back at the end. I guess I will say that it's all about like finding that appropriate spacing. And so I've gotten used to kind of doing this over and over again, but it's just finding the appropriate spacing for the lines, taking in consideration which way things are going to flow after, like with the color. But yeah, that's what I'm doing, and I'll make sure that I get this completed. All right. Smaller lines are now in place and on a different level, layer, I might add. And now I'm about to get my coloring on. So you can do this part however you like, but you'll see my gradients and stuff really shine. And after that, I'll come back and do my finishing touch. So I'll see you all at the end. All right, and now for the final touch, which is just putting the text over the top or initials. So I'm just, yeah, adding my text. And I know the font that I'm actually using if you're interested in it. There it is right there, Mistral. And so I just kind of start with 50 size font, going into it. And so this is Oklahoma, which that should be okay. And I'll double check that. I always try to double check my work. All right. So if you ever wondered how to do a border on text inside of Krita, this is a perfect opportunity to pick this tip up. You got your vector layer with the text on it, and you just go over to layer up here in the menu, layer style, and in the menu, you'll actually see something at the bottom called stroke. And so that's when you'll set all the settings for it. I use a 5 pixel border, and the position is center. That's like centered on top of the line versus off to the outside of your font or in the inside of it. Opacity is 0 because I don't want it to be see-through. And I hit OK. And boom, there it is. Now, I just position it, I resize it as needed, but everything is basically done. So I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you can apply it to other things that you want to try this technique on, this skill, whatever you want to call it, the style, actually. Um, and I just hope you have fun and go out there and create. So thanks for the question. Hopefully this was helpful, and I'll see you all in the next one. Much love, respect, and take care.